Scaling your insurance agency is a little bit of a pain and a headache, and this is why a lot of agency owners, you'll notice that they're only one person, or there's 3 people, maybe 5 if you're lucky, and we're even grown to 5 right now, and it's like we're starting to see and plan for the problems that we have coming up. One of the pieces that you've got to do if you plan on being an agency more than just yourself and maybe another person. If that's the case, then you're set. Like, you can watch some of these old videos where I talk about the pay structure of just the smaller agency. If you want a 6-figure income and you don't want to work a lot in the future, so in a 10 to 15 year plan, I think you could honestly work yourself out of retirement. If you're 25, by the time you're 40, you're pretty much done. It needs you to sell $1 million plus worth of insurance. You need to hire another person and another person, so 2 sales agents behind you. Now you got a middle finger. You got 3 people that are now in selling, you and 2 others, and then you need a part-time to a full-time service rep. If that's the case, now you're not spinning your wheels dealing with customers. They're still going to talk to you, and you're still going to build the relationships. You're still going to follow up. You're still going to do renewals, all of that type of stuff. You're the claims guy. There's a lot of hats that you have to wear anyways that you should still be doing. But changing red car to blue car, getting ID cards, things like that should be handled by the service person, and it's just general advice. So if you have somebody there to help you, you've got 2 guys doing $1 million. You're giving them 80% or 70% of everything they write, so they're happy. They're making $70K plus a year. You're making an extra 60. You've slowed down. You've got another 60 that you're making instead of the 100. So now, long story short, you're making 120, they're making 70, service person's making 30, 40, 50, whatever you're paying that person. Yeah, that sounds so simple, right? That's a 10-year plan. That's a 15-year plan. But the 16th year, it just goes up, because if you own that book of business, that's the key to that, is you being the one doing it, you being the one starting it, and then building it around you. You have to have the non-compete, and you have to have the ability to either own it or pass it down to your agents in a specific time frame. If they're going out and getting their own business, there's no reason they shouldn't just start their own. So you have to have some sort of plan in place to teach them what you've done in the past to get to where you're at. So in our model, we try to make an ownership role, which we haven't fully built because we're not even there yet. We want our agents to have an ownership, so at certain levels we give them equity in the book. Right? We still own the client because we're paying for it. We're paying for the leads. We're paying for them to get trained. We're paying for all of those pieces, and we're building them up to where they're going to make a 6+ figure income, and then we're going to make a little bit of what they've earned. Most people, that's a sweet deal. For those that are already rock stars and are like go-getters and the hunters, as we call them, that's not going to fit them, right? They want the commission. They want to get paid the higher salary. Or for those that are really good, I've got friends that are really good at sales, but they don't want to do it anymore. So they want more of that step back. They'd rather have just a smooth salary than a big commission check. Going back to my tangent here, so the part of scaling is a little bit difficult because you almost have to have, let's just say, we'll call it insurance in a box, right? You have to be able to take an agent in, agent 20, agent 15, agent 32. Hopefully you give them a name and you actually like them, right? Don't call them Agent 32. But you got the box, you open the box, and you start handing them things slowly. Here's the first step. Here's the second step. Here's how we're going to build you. Here's the scripting you should do. Let's make it you. What are your plans? What are your focuses? We've got to have a process that we have, and they're called standard SOPs, right? It's just it's standard operating procedures. It's basically documentation that you've written down that if I hire a guy, this is the step 1, set up his computer. This is the step 2, give him his office profile or give him his mail documents. Step 3, make sure he's not sharing his passwords. All of those pieces are what build a scalable business. Now that part does have an end to it because, yeah, I can pull a guy in and show him all the things I do and write it all on paper and give him all these SOPs and tell him the best way to do it, and he goes and does it. But then you fall into a little bit of a trap because the word of mouth ends at some point. Just like I've seen with almost the last 20 people I've trained, is they come in and they're like, I'm going to be the number 1 guy, I'm going to crush it, and I got all these friends and family, and I got 5 realtor friends. Watch out, Mark, here it goes. They do great. They do 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, month 1, month 2, month 3, nothing. Month 4 is like a dead zone because the realtor friends don't usually pan out. If they do, great, and more power to you. But eventually they run out of friends and family. So now they're like, what do I do now? Do I quit the industry, or where do I go from here? If you haven't prepared them for that, to go to that next step, then you're going to lose out because you're just going to lose the next agent. And now you've got to do it all over again. Sure, could you build a book off of that? I wouldn't want to. It's a headache. So how do we combat that? How do we get to go forward from there? How do we get to that next step with a customer? It's actually very simple. The easiest way to figure out how to answer that question is to take what we already did. Like our minds as non-owners and just getting into this industry and building it up is like, okay, here's the steps I need to sell. Here's the number of leads I need to buy. Or if I'm not buying leads, here's the number of people I need to connect with. And I can grow this, right? Here's all the things that I can do in my nucleus to get this thing going. And then I can just hand that off to somebody, which you will quickly realize the first person you train or hire, it's good, that nucleus is just going to fall apart the second you give it to them. They don't have your powers. We're talking superheroes. So in this scenario, you want to be able to know, how do I, have a standard operating procedure? So the basics. You don't need to go crazy. Have a sales script, have an onboarding, have all of those little pieces that you want them to just follow. Teach them how to make a schedule and how to go. So that's the first part, the stuff we just talked about. The second piece is you need to know, once again, what their focuses are. So are we doing leads? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? And then we need to put a marketing plan together. That's the part I see most people fail, is because they just have you adopt their model, go out and talk to 20 companies, and then they sit in their car and cry. You got to make sure that you have some sort of source. Are you buying leads? We do a third of our leads. Are you working on center of influences? We want a third of our business to be center of influence. And maybe it'll be half of our business with this guy and a third of the business with this guy or girl or whoever. And then we want also to have our people to be in social media experts. We want them to grow social media. Until we can afford to pay somebody to grow it for them and just say, I need you to sit in this chair and say these lines, or I need you to read this and tell me your opinion on it. Let's build the social media around you. Until we can do that and afford that, you've really got no choice. You've got to be the hats of everything. And you as the owner can't do all of that for them. So those are the pieces that we found. And maybe in your scenario, there's another source of revenue. Maybe it is doing raffles and drawings and all types of stuff. Maybe you're in a magazine or you're doing billboards or whatever the case is. You've got to have some way to teach these people either to get their own business or to scale that next level of income. The tough part is when they fall, is patting them on the back and telling them it's okay. We actually planned for that. We can see those pieces coming ahead of time. And we try to teach that to our agents. Say, hey, you've done a lot of really good work. This just fell through or just went through and you got those sales. But because you spent so much time focusing on this, which was awesome, we didn't focus on this, and this. So the next 3 weeks, you may have some things popping out of the hopper, but expect no sale. We've got to start putting that grind back on and getting back into that groove. You've got to have these maps and these plans for when you're scaling that. And that's the easiest way to say scaling without diving too deep into just going crazy with it all. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. If you're looking to do a scratch agency, I'll show you a path that we went through. Or if you just want to see the boring day in the life of me, I'll put that link in the video here. It's actually kind of fun. Goes through me going into work and making phone calls and all that fun stuff. I'm Mark W. Flockhart. I'll see you soon.